Okay, Saturday after baseball, I accidentally tore my bike apart the other night, and I have a million other customers things to do and things to do on the addition of the shop and the house, but I'm gonna think about myself, or myself and Samantha, and well, Bentley even loves riding on the bike. I'm not gonna leave it torn apart. I'm gonna take the time to just give it a quick knockout, clean up paint job, whether that even means just painting I got a new front fender. I'm not all about this factory fender with everything else that's going on. Um, this is how the bike came back there. Like I've said before, with that fender and those bags, I might not have necessarily picked them myself, but because that's the bike that I got and the direction it's going in, losing this stock front fender, it's got a dent where it's hit, and if I was gonna smooth it up like the rear fender and weld all these holes and everything, I'd have more time into it than it was worth. So I just bought a nice little, well, I say nice, roller front fender for the 21-inch tire. So I gotta at least get that painted this color, even if I'm not changing the whole bike. And I gotta at least paint the bags because they've always been black. And I put black speaker lids on. So a few things I'm gonna do. First off, they open and close like garbage. So I bought all new hardware, all new hinges, latches, all that stuff. So I'm gonna swap all that over. But the other thing is I obviously don't have dual exhaust on this bike. I have that single side dump, the 2-into-1 with a side dump. So it looks kind of silly having cutouts for exhaust that don't exist there. And this fender's a little bit lower than the bag. So I'm gonna wind up trimming the fender, something like that maybe. But what I'm gonna do now is, like we did a run of a week or so ago, a little bit of fiberglass work. This is slightly different. I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do here, or I'll tell you first off. So I'm gonna give this a grind, all in here, all on my edges. I'm gonna stick a piece of cardboard here, here, and here. And I'm gonna fill this with spray foam. Yes, spray foam, like all the real good body men in America use in their rockers. That sort of spray foam. I'm gonna use that to fill the gap. I can then shape it, pull my cardboard, shape it a little bit more, and I can lay fiberglass mat over it and then body work it. But that'll hold the shape there, and it's not gonna do any harm. It'll be all fiberglassed in. So that's a quick down and dirty way to do that little corner with some body there. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna knock that down with a grinder and make a couple pieces of cardboard and tape them on there and go for the foam. And then they'll be set up for the morning so I can play with that. And when it's not 6,000 degrees in here tomorrow morning, I will put this grill shell in and get this Jeep. This Jeep's leaving Monday. So if I can do a bunch to my bike, at least have it like paint ready by Monday, that'd be sweet, because I gotta slam the Model A in here and do some work. I got a quick in and out for a dealership I gotta do. A couple in and outs for a dealership. So that being said, I'm gonna do something with this to get it at least back together. Like I said, if that means I just paint the bags and the fender to match the silver, then so be it. At least I'll have a bike for the summer. I'll do something different this winter. Maybe. All right, here we go. And there we have that. Our precision molds. High tech. Some people will tell you wax paper or tape or whatever, but I'm tearing them off. I'm grinding them back so much I really don't care how it's gonna come off. It'll come off. So probably be maybe late tonight, tomorrow morning. I'll be able to rip all that off, cut this all down, shave it down, and I'll lay some fiberglass over it. And there we have it. 2 stretched bags with, I'm gonna call them exhaust cutouts or exhaust reliefs or whatever. Not anymore. Well, soon will be not anymore, if any of that made sense. These are stretched bags that had exhaust cutouts, and we're making them so they don't. Does that simplify it? There it is. Stay tuned. The Jeep is out. My high-tech forms, not concrete, what would that be called? Mold? I don't know. My cardboard chunks for my foam here are off. I just quickly hacked that top height off. And just give it a little kiss with the grinder to get some fiberglass on there. So that's going and drying while I'm bringing in the next victim. Got some bedsides to Dad already patched them up, so I just gotta clean them up, paint them, get that one out of here, and get the week rolling. All right, our next victim is in the shop. Quick little patch up, used truck sort of deal. The rest of the truck's pretty clean, so just these spots around these arches. Dad's got some patches welded in there. I'm gonna go ahead and rough them all up and sling some fiberglass on there and work my way out like I always do. Bondo, primer, the whole deal. So, without further ado, I'm going to sand it, or grind it, and get some fiberglass on there. Alright, because we had it out, we dung a layer of fiberglass on here. I'm still going to mat it with resin, but I just gave a skim over the foam. So there the resin and the mat has something to hook to other than the foam. A little skim of fiberglass. And as you see, it's still stepped in, so I have room to build out flush still. So there's that, and I did that just because I was doing this and I had enough left on the board for one, so I mixed up a little more to the other. So here we have that. We knocked it down with 40 grit, give it some tooth, gave all the patches a skim of fiberglass. We'll let that set up, knock it down, and get doing our body work, our body filler, and get that all smoothed up and pretty like. Okay, we got a little more action on our bags here. Doing our cutouts, getting rid of the exhaust cutouts. Got our first coat of, well, we did our form with foam, shaved the foam, skimmed it with long strand fiberglass, and then I just laid fiberglass mat over it in resin, and I'll shape that up, maybe do one more layer of mat just to tie everything in, and then I'll start body working it. But mainly this is what we're doing. I don't think I showed you anything other than it coming in. Maybe I showed you it in fiberglass, but so it's fiberglassed, bondoed, first coat of primer. Shaped up all right. Hammer the primer to her, sand her out, and paint her tonight or first thing in the morning. All right, my bike snuck back in because we had primer on. Let's see, your Nissan drying. I figured we'd use Nature's bake booth outside today, throw that out in the sun, give us a chance to clean up the shop a little bit. And we got a coat of fiberglass over the mat on here now. It's setting up pretty good. The Jeep just got picked up and left, the little CJ5, and now we're off to baseball. Might jump back out here in the shop tonight. I say it every time, I can't spend time on my own projects, but it's starting to be bike weather. We got a real short season here, and I really want my bike back together. So if I could get these bags and primer tonight, that'd be awesome. And then go from there. Still back and forth. I went to get the paint today. I figured, quick and easy, I'll keep the silver and black. Well, quick and easy and cheap wound up being, this is actually a 1-year Harley color, and it's a tri-coat. So that's not cheap or easy. So don't know if I'm gonna, I don't think, somebody painted this fender and it's really not that great, but it's far from good, but good from afar. So if my bags just match that fender, because I really don't think that somebody actually did a tri-coat there. So if I just match my bags and side covers to that fender, and my new front fender matches those, you might not notice the little bit of difference in the tank. So I don't know, I might just shoot a couple spots with the camera and see if I can get a base coat that's close, and go from there. Anyway, off to baseball. Like I said, probably come spend a few minutes out here tonight. I started doing some wiring on the taillights. I haven't had a brake light or a plate light on the bike since I've owned it. So I figured that might be kind of handy. So started wiring that stuff up, cleaning up the wires for the existing marking lights and brake lights. Directionals that were there. And yeah, maybe we'll do a little wiring, a little bit of sanding and Bondo and primer there, and call it a night. All right, home from baseball. We knocked down the fiberglass we had on there and gave another quick little coat. That should be the last coat of fiberglass. Do a little body filler work on there and put the primer to her. We'll see you tomorrow, YouTube.